Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Weird and Wonderful World, and this is part 2 of my 20 album covers that are the most interesting, well, personally, and it could be from any. It could be for a number of reasons. It could be because it's one of my favorite album covers. It could be because of a memory I have had the first time I seen these covers, and so on and so forth. I will leave my part one to this video down in this corner right here, so you can go and check it out after if you haven't yet already, of course. But this first choice here I have in my hand, okay, I have 10 more to show you. The last 10 is, well, I had something else chosen, but I think I may have shown you something already from that band. So I changed it for this one here because I had said yesterday I wasn't going to do any Rush, but I was like, you know what? I am going to put this in here. I'll show it first because it is an interesting album cover, and I remember the first time seeing it thinking that was wild and different, and it really does also, really relate to what the music is all about. So you can tell by that cover, and it's Rush Hemispheres, and that's a pretty wild album cover. I do really love that. So that is number 10. I'm going to count down to number 1. Not, and again, it's not necessarily in any particular order, but I do have a countdown. But it's not a ranking. I am not ranking these, okay? And I'm not rating these. I'm just showing you interesting album covers. Okay, for this next one, of course, the first time I saw this is also probably maybe in my top 5 favorite album covers that I have. Of course, there's the Iron Maiden Live After Death. That's one of my top 5 favorites. Um, Lateralis from Tool. That's another one of my favorite album covers. But this one too is just right up there as one of my favorites. Again, it's because of the 3D quality of it. You know, you gotta go, and this one goes from up and down to make Bush's face turn into a lizard. And it's called it's Ministry. Well, there you can see right there. You should be able to see that Ministry and the Last Sucker. And of course, it all goes with the whole demonic thing there with the sacred geometry and so on and so forth. I think that's such a lovely packaging. You know, as evil looking as it is, it really sets again. It really sets the tone of what's inside. And I would probably have to say this is my favorite Ministry album. Yeah, I mean, I love a lot of the other ones, and I do have quite a bit. There's a couple I'm still missing, but I do have most of the Ministry albums. But yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's number 9. And number 8, okay. And ever since I bought it, I can understand way back when this first came out, people in the record stores when it is on LP, when it's on vinyl, and how big it is and when you're looking through the albums and this pops out at you, and I do actually really love the artwork of it, and I'm talking about King Crimson's yeah, King Crimson's in the Court of the Crimson King. I don't know why I blanked out on that, but yeah, in the Court of the Crimson King. It's yeah, it's a pretty interesting and awesome album cover. I do actually really like it, and I'm so happy to have it. Not just because the music is actually awesome in it. I really do love this album, but that artwork is worth having. You know. Um, this was a maybe for me to put this in this list, but I kept it in anyway. I couldn't think of anything else to replace it with, really. But I do find this is a very interesting and a cool looking album cover. And so we're gonna go with, and this is what, one, two, three, 4, 5, 6. This is number 7. This is Devo's. Are we not men? Answer: we are Devo. So and this is the deluxe one that has the whole album again, but live. So I usually choose when I play this. I either choose one or the other, and they're so similar. Most often, I go with the live one. But we're talking about the album covers. Yeah, that's a great album cover. It just kind of reminds me of somebody a little bit that I know from way back in the day. Just the angle of what how crooked his mouth is a little bit on his face. It's not lined up with the rest of his face, but it is that tacky hat. Yeah, it really it's a really cool cover. And then, of course, this is that number 666. I'm joking. I'm joking. But it's appropriate for Black Sabbath. Yeah, having buying this, okay, recently, and if I give a review, yeah, it's a really great album. I don't think I had not actually heard this whole album in its entirety before. I think I have heard Paranoid very quite Masters of Reality a few times, Volume 4 quite a bit, and so on and so forth. Never Say Die I've heard quite a bit, but this one I had not actually really heard. I think I've heard it maybe once a long time ago. But it was nice, refreshing that. But that album cover, yeah, it's iconic. It's iconic. It really delivers what's the music is going to be like when you I gotta do a proper review of this album and some of the newer albums I bought in the last 2 weeks. So yeah, look forward to that. I'll probably do that. I'll try to do that tomorrow at some point, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to number five, and I'm putting in this one here. It's a comedic artist. Okay, he does comedic work, but it's still really great music. I consider his band to be one of the most underrated bands on the planet, hands down. But we're talking about covers again. So Weird Al Yankovic's Apocalypse. Apocalypse. It's such a great album cover because the artwork is really cool. I mean the four horsemen are really well displayed. It looks like it's a badass cover. It's my favorite Weird Al Yankovic cover of all his albums. Okay, because he's what horse is he riding? Is Weird Al riding? Famine. He's riding famine. And this was his way of declaring to the world that he was no longer, after this album, going to be doing, including this album, no longer doing food parody songs. He will no longer be singing about food, and he doesn't. After this album and beyond, and after this album, he no longer sings about food. So, so yeah, he's writing famine. I think that's just brilliant and genius. I love it. Now for this one at number four, I gotta open this up because the front cover doesn't really give it justice. I have to show the bigger picture because that's how the cover is. But I'm going with Ozzy Osbourne's "The Ultimate Sin." I always loved that album cover. I just think it's like well painted and well. I've always been a fan of his of Ozzy's logo here and everything. Yeah, and I remember back, of course, back in the day, seeing this on vinyl. And when it's on vinyl and you're looking at that detail, I don't know. It's my favorite. And again, this is my favorite Ozzy Osbourne album cover. I very, 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 very much love it. And I wish more people's album covers were as cool and badass as that. Just saying. Now, this next album cover I wanna talk about, which I love. Okay, and 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 the only reason it's not that it's a great album cover, okay? I'm only displaying this one because of the context of it, the joke behind it. You have an album called El Camino, but all the pictures are of these vans. Every single picture, there's four here when you open it up. there's four more there when you open it up. And you go and take out the booklet. You got the CD on way on this side, and you can't just pop it out on the other side here. That's actually sealed in. You have to take out the book from this side. But you take out the book expecting maybe lyrics or liner notes. Nope. Van, Van, after Van. That just come on. That's just genius. That tickles me. That tickles me. To every picture, and I skipped a couple there. It's there. There's your liner notes. That's all you get for your liner notes. There's the name of the songs and stuff. There. It's yeah. Well, the name songs are here too, but isn't that something? It's all Vans. Okay, I digress. I'm done with that one. I have two more to go. This is at number three, right? But again, they're not ranked. They're not in any particular order. It's just yeah. So here at this at number two, it's I always loved it because it is artwork. It is actually hand drawn, but the artist, which is one of the band members, and the inside packaging is just as important as the outside packaging. And I'm talking about Voivod Nothing Face because it has such because of a lot of the straight type of lines. He made it all look like it was computer code, like that it was pixelated in some way. I'm not sure of his technique, but his artwork is fantastic. And then you look inside, with for me is not necessarily about the and that's the wrapper thing that came around it because it's a Japanese import, which is awesome. It has all the Japanese liner notes, all the lyrics in Japanese, the liner notes in Japanese, which is awesome. But I don't open this too often, but I want to open it because I love looking at it. Has all the lyrics. All the lyrics are there. See on this side here you got the a poster of the band, but you see how everything with the it's all kind of weirdly pixelated and all it's hand drawn. Okay, but it's all straight lines. But you have I believe it goes in this direction like that. All those pictures there are yeah. I love that concept. I just love the look of that. So that is at number two. Two. So I have one more to show you. And this one here, okay, is probably for me one of the most. How do I express this? Okay, what I'm holding at number one? Because this one here is the most mysterious growing up. It was the one LP when we had it on LP for the longest time. We wore that album out. I played it. I had played it a lot. I and and again when I was told in back in 2014, yeah, 2014, 11 years ago, that I could buy this on CD. It's probably one of the moments, my one musical moment that blew my mind that I could get this on CD. Like yes, and I ordered it, and it came in fairly quickly too. I was surprised how quickly it came in. Because I just didn't order this one. I ordered like four of them all at once. When he told me I could get four of this guy, but this album cover has always had mystified me. Doesn't really explain the content inside. It can be misleading depending on how you want to look at it. But it's a positive album. I guarantee it's not it's not as satanic as I thought it would have been because it's called the Electric Lucifer and it's created by Bruce Hack. It's his first serious album that he made after doing all those children albums. But this album here, look at that cover. Look at that cover. With the blue hand, the horns coming out of him. He looks like he would be Jesus. He looks like Jesus, right? Like the face of Jesus, but he has pointed ears. He has horns. He has these weird kind of wings type of things coming out from behind them that has these faces on it. There's flames and weird creatures with yeah, I don't know if you're seeing that like if you're seeing that clear enough, but yeah. Isn't that yeah, so kind of at number 1 as being the most interesting album covers I own. I think I have to put that at number 1. Not that it's my favorite album cover that I own. It's not. It's not. It is the most interesting though. It is the oldest memory. The memory of this album cover even is pre uh, Kiss the debut album. Is pre that. This is probably my oldest memory of an LP being in my family and being on my radar my whole entire life. Yeah. So that's why that is number 1 in many, 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 many respects. All right. So I am done with this episode. I thank you all for joining me here. If you are watching this for the first time, please consider subscribing. I will greatly appreciate and love you forever. Don't be afraid to hit the like button. I don't know why people are afraid of hitting the like button. It's so easy to do, and comment, because I really try to do my best to comment back, even if it's a short thank you, or as long as I put that heart there, that I like your comment, even if I may not respond back. It depends, but I try to respond to everybody. All right, I am done. Everybody, please, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.